Zombie apocalypse.
Now then, it's Bernie Buffon here again, and it is time for the final roster. We've done 23 rosters, we're down to the last one. And if anyone's been watching my videos, you'll know that the only team we haven't covered is Norse. And that's what we're going to do today. And if you was looking for any other race, then just go obviously to my channel, what you're on now, and then go to the playlist, and all the teams are there. So it's took a while for us to get from the legendary teams through all the other teams, and now we're down to Norse. And well, let's get on with it, shall we? So what we're going to do first of all is have a look at a few different starting rosters. Then I'll basically tell you which one I would take for the Cyanide Cup competition, and then we'll look at how you skill them up. So here's the first build. This build, you only get two team rerolls, but you do get an apothecary. And although 2 team rerolls is never good, a lot of your pieces already come with blocks, so that's always good. So that'll save on their bent rerolls. You got your 2 Ulf Awareness as well, so you got 2 Strength 4 pieces there. You got a Berserker, and you've also got your Yeti with Claw. So that's important to try and get this guy tooled up pretty early, because he's the guy who is gonna hopefully get you the numbers advantage. So you know it's not bad. I mean, like I said, you got 11 players, 2 team rerolls. I never like that, but the thing is, with all this block, you should get away with it. You know, but getting your 2 Ulf Awareness up, that means you're trying to get them done straight away, really early doors before you go higher up into the competition and meet Claw and all that sort of stuff. So always going to try and get them done pretty early. The only thing I don't like about this build is obviously you don't get an extra player, and you've only got 2 rerolls. But hey, if there's a team out there what don't need loads of rerolls, it's probably these guys. Now then, the next roster is without the Yeti. You get your 3 team rerolls. No apothecary on this one though. You've got your 2 berserkers. You've got a thrower, 2 runners, an Ulf Awareness, and then your 5 linemen. So this basically gets you both the runners. You've got your 2 berserkers, and then they'll do that. And obviously the throw is very split in the Norse community. I think some love it, some hate it. So a lot of people just go with the runners and just go the throw. But if you want a thrower in your team, this is probably going to be the best sort of roster for that. But you know, you get your 3 team rerolls, so that's good. So it's not bad. Now your third one again sees have the Yeti. You get your 2 Ulf Awareness. You got your 2 team rerolls. No apothecary again. You've got your 2 berserkers. You've got a runner, and you've got 5 linemen as well. So again, not bad. Obviously, not having the apothecary means you can bring in a better player. I think it's a berserker on this one, and you've got a runner as well. So your runner could try and score, and then obviously you've got your berserkers there, and the enforcers Ulf Awareness with a Yeti. So this is quite a nice build. Yet again, the only problem I don't like is again the 2 team rolls, but we've already gone through that. You can probably get away with it early doors. I'd probably look to get an apothecary first, and then look to get a team reroll. And the final roster we're going to have a look at is this one, where you got the extra Norse. You got 2 runners, 2 berserkers, 8 linemen, 3 team rerolls, 1 apothecary. So this is built for the long term. You know, you obviously when you get your cash, you keep adding towards it, getting the Ulf Awareness, the Yetis, and all that sort of stuff. So you know, it is more of a long-term project, but this is more likely to succeed in the long run, because obviously you've got the extra player, you've got the apothecary to save one of your better players. I would use the apothecary on these 4 guys, because the linemen are easily replaceable. So this covers all bases. Now then, if I was taking one of these into competition, that one I'd be really tempted with. But because I could probably rinse... I mean, if it was a private league where you couldn't where you couldn't rinse and repeat, I'd probably go with the one with the 12 players, because obviously, you know, it just gives you just a bit more leeway. But I would think really I'd be looking. Yeah. See, I like this one because it has the apothecary, and you get your 2 Wolf Awareness, you get a Berserker, and you get your Yeti as well. So I'd be pretty tempted with that one. But then again, I would probably, because I can rinse and repeat, I would probably risk it and go with this one and hope no one gets splattered really bad until I get an apothecary. Because this gets you Yeti, gets you 2 Wolf Awareness, 2 Berserkers, and it also gives you a runner who can obviously run the ball for you. And I think because you can, like, if you have a bad game, you can actually just start again. This would be the build I'd go for. I think it gets you a lot of the nice positionals straight off the bat. You've got your 2 team rerolls, and you know, you can build from there. So that's the one I'd go for. So basically, after you've got your roster, how would you skill them up? Now this is where, you know, as people will know, I'm not a big fan of Norse, because you've got issues for strength access, because like with Amazons, they can get blodged really nicely, real easy, can't they? Norse can't. So for instance, the Alarmmen, they've got block. There's two things they need. They need dodge, what is a double roll to give them blodge, to give them more protection, or, you know, more likely guard. That's a double as well. Then you think, well, Mike, put a few on Mighty Blow. Well, that's a double again. So all the skills, all the good skills, what help them to either dominate or to protect them is a roll of a double. So that's where the major problem I see with Norse. But we'll go through it as we go along. Let's start off with the throwers. Again, some people like them, some people don't. This build basically is a guy, he's just going to throw the ball. He's built to throw the ball. So obviously he's got block and pass already. The first skill I'd give him would be either accurate or show hands. Show hands obviously stops war dancers jumping into his cage trying to strip ball him. And accurate gives him +1 to passing. It's top 2. They're the 2 skills I'd definitely look at going for. Nerves of Steel and Dump Off is another 2 good skills, because that means obviously he can go into a tackle zone with his Nerves of Steel and still throw it on an unmodified dice roll. And it also works well with Dump Off. So if someone does hit your runner, you can dump it off to someone nearby. Agility would be fantastic on this. Strength would be fantastic as well. I've always thought of a Norse team being a bit of a running team, but obviously having one of these on board does give you another option. You know, armor I probably wouldn't take. Movement I'd take movement, strength, and agility. Armor I probably wouldn't take, because my philosophy is if you've got a thrower, it shouldn't be getting hit that often. So you know, so that's it. I mean, other options you can go for is safe throw. That's always good. Fend if you really want to as well. So you'd have to dodge away if someone hits you. You can also go for dodge on a double, or sure feet. So it obviously extends a safer rate. So you know, there you go. Here's the other build. What I've had a look at. You've rolled a double, so you've gone for dodge. So you've got blodge already. Fend is obviously another good, decent skill, and I think Fend is really important on Norse, because the way I look at Norse is they're only armor 7. So if they get knocked down and for some bizarre reason they don't get splattered, a lot of times I see people, they just get them back up and they get hit again, and they keep getting hit. And armor 7 ain't gonna keep taking the punishment. So if you've got Fend, at least then when they've hit you, you can get up. You're not in a tackle zone most of the time, and they can just move and reposition and get blocked in your favour. So I think Fend is always good on any of the players. On this particular guy, obviously it's there, so he doesn't have to do any more dodges. Because obviously, even though you have got the dodge ability, you still see people fail a 3+ dodge with a reroll, and sometimes you'd be more than one tackle zone. So, hey ho. Hail Mary pass is really good for defense. So basically, a lot of times Norse, you know, it could be, I know you're winning 1-0 or it's 1-1. You've only got 5 players on the pitch. There's a couple of turns left, you know, and you're hanging in there, and you know, you think, oh my god, they've just scored, say for instance 1-1, you think, oh god, I've got to hang on for a draw. So how do I hang on for a draw? Well, that's how great Hail Mary pass is, because you can go right into your end zone, stall as best you can, and as soon as they're in blitzing range, just throw it to the other end of the pitch. And then usually by the time they've got the ball, the game's already over, and you come out of it with a draw at the very least. So it's always a good skill to have, especially if your cage breaks down or something, and there's no way you can dodge out the way. You could just throw it, and you'll find a lot of people will just forget about you've got Hail Mary and just bring the things forward. If you can sneak a few guys around the back, it's fantastic. I did it on the with my account on the Xbox against Calcium Cast, where he just basically, really surprisingly, flooded, tried to break my cage with everything, left nothing back, and I just, with my dwarf, just lobbed it with the Hail Mary right into the back end. By the time he got the ball, and obviously I made it really hard for him to move up the pitch. He'd run out of time, we won, and went through, and that was it. So Hail Mary is a really good skill. It's more of a defensive skill, really is. But if you're in a pickle, you'll be glad you've got it. Runners. Now these are the popular guys. Everyone likes the runners. You've got the access to agility, what's great, so you can get blodged, no problem. They come with dauntless as well, so any big beasties try and tag them, they can fight their way away from them, and also they're good for going hunting after the big guys as well. Unfortunately, they don't have access to strength. What's a shame, because obviously you could have made a Mighty Blow killing machine, but unfortunately you'll have to save them for your berserkers. Again, if you're going to make this guy a runner, sure hands is really important, because a lot of teams now are against strip ball, especially things like Kislev and obviously Wood Elves, Skaven. So if he's going to run the ball, then definitely sure hands. One combination I really like is sure feet and sprint. Always go with sure feet first, but a potential movement of 10 with sprint and sure feet is fantastic and gives him a greater range to score from. So again, movement would be brilliant. Strength, agility, fantastic. Armor, again, I'm trying to protect this guy. Sidestep as well, to make sure obviously it takes less hits, and obviously protects him from being served as well if you go down the flank. So this is basically I definitely build it like this, especially if I'm not taking a thrower. Another way where you can use them, and you see this a lot, especially with teams like Necro with the ghouls and stuff like that, is to make them into a defensive build. So they just hang out the back as a last line of defense more times than not. So if something gets through in like a potato or something like this guy will mark him up. Obviously, you've got blodge straight off the bat. Well, you get dodge first, so you got blodge, then go sidestep, then diving tackle. So basically, if he can't knock you down, he's dodging away with a -2. Obviously, pass block's a really good late skill I like to take, because obviously you could be marking one guy, and if you're stolen to another one, you can dodge out of that tackle zone, get into where the ball's to the guy is going to. If you can get in front, that's great, because you've got to attempt to intercept it. But even if you just mark him up, it's a -1 to the catch. And then obviously if you want to try and dodge away, guess what? It's a -2 again. It won't work every time, but most times it will work. Especially against low agility teams who are doing a desperation play, or they'll turn 8 and they've got to do something desperate. You'll be glad you've got a guy like this out the back protecting you. I would quite happily have 2 guys like this. Agility is great for this build. Strength's great for this build. Armor, again, this is probably one of the times I would take the armor, but only after I've got these skills, because obviously, because he's going to be marking up a bit more than usual, then obviously the extra bit of armor would help. Movement's not bad either. But I don't know. I would probably take the armor, because this guy's going to be marking people up. Just be careful though not to tackle Mighty Blow pieces up a lot, because they could break horribly. Your ideal situation is most scoring threats are like, I don't know, Nerves of Steel or Blodgers. Very few of them have tackle, so usually he'll be safe there. Talking about tackle, the other skill I'd take for this guy is tackle as well, because obviously tackle and diving tackle work really well together, and that means if they've got the dodge, then obviously negates their free reroll, so they'd have to use one of their own. So and if they've got no rerolls and to dodge away from dime tackle, nobody likes doing that. So this is a build I really do like. And like I said, they can still run with the ball. It's just that obviously having these you know, having these two as your last line of defense to me is a really good way to go. Your Ulf awareness as well. To me personally, I'd give block on both of them because I think you definitely need that. I mean, you could go wrestle if you want, if you want to make one into a strip ball wrestling piece, but I'm not a big fan of that on the Ulf awareness. So I would go block. This one's basically made into a bit of a killer. So you go block, mighty blow, piling on, tackle, and then obviously stand firm because obviously just in case you're trying to surf somebody out, you don't want to be counter surfed. And obviously guard, you can't get guard's lovely. You need guards. So these guys are your strength, your reliable strength. Yeah, he's obviously strength 5, but obviously it's not reliable. These guys are. So you know after he's got a few skills, they are really good. And stand firm obviously lets you park yourself next to a corner of a cage as well. And if they don't get you down, then obviously it's a problem for them. Would I take dodge on a double? Later on, I think. I won't take it early because at the end of the day, this guy's there to kill. So I'd take his protection skill later on, but I definitely would want block and mighty blow at least before I even look at that. And if I got dodge, I'd probably make him more into an all-round build and give him stand firm, so he becomes a blodge strength 4 roll for Werner. Strength, definitely take strength. Agility, won't bother with. Armour, very late on. Movement. Movement's a funny one because obviously you've got frenzy, and obviously the further they can move makes him a lot better. So movement, I think it's one of those where how you feel at the time, and but strength is the one you want. If you can get strength, that is fantastic. So go with that. Right, okay, and the other one basically is where you're going to go for crowd surfing. So obviously you go with block. It's a bit of an all-rounder. You got block. You got to get guard because this team needs guard because they are a basher team, so they do need guard. Stand firm as well because obviously you don't want to be counter surfed. If you get roll or double, get dodge so they become a blodge, stand firm, guard, strength 4, Ulf awareness. That is nasty. Then if you want to do damage, go mighty blow. Otherwise, go juggernaut. Get juggernaut in there. If you want to start blitzing people off the pitch, you've got to put juggernaut in there somewhere. You may decide to take your first skill, second skill. It's up to you. I'd try and get guard somewhere. We need guard somewhere. If by the time this guy's leveled up and you've got a few linemen who have just rolled doubles and got guard, then obviously maybe you put guard a bit further down on the list and go for other skills. Some people might go, well, you know what, I want my blow first, Bernie, because obviously that'll help me level him up quicker. It's totally up to you. But obviously this guy's built to crowd surf, so you need to get Juggernaut sometime pretty quickly. If you don't want to go down the Juggernaut route till later on, then obviously go down the Blodge, Stand Firm, Guard route, and then obviously this guy's going to be a pain in the backside. Strength 4 Blodge guy is never easy to get rid of, and they are a pain in the backside. So there we go. Now then, the Berserkers, these are the guys I like. Shame they're on the armor 7, but hey, really good. Movement 6, strength 3, agility 3. Again, strength and agility I'd definitely take. Definitely strength. Oh, if you can get strength on these bad boys, you're going to love it. They already come with block, frenzy, and jump up, so that's fantastic. This guy basically is a bit of an all-rounder. Mighty blow first to obviously inflict damage. Again, I'd be looking at guard, because not many people can take guard. You know, your Ulf awareness, the Berserkers, and your Yeti, and guard's so important. So this guy gets guard after mighty blow, or guard then mighty blow. If you want to go down the crowd surfing route, then obviously Juggernaut is there to go. Guard, Stand Firm keeps his guard in position and helps him assist. Dodge, obviously, as we just spoke with the Ulf awareness, a blodge Stand Firm guy is always annoying. And then the option is tackle, because obviously he'd be going around looking to try and take out some of these lower armoured blodgers who are flying about all over the place, and pesky wood elves or dark elves and high elves, you know, even Kislevs. Anyone dodgy, gut runners, whatever, he'll be going around giving them pain. So that's a bit of an all-round there for the Berserker. This guy's there to build and kill. Obviously, go mighty blow, then tackle, piling on. I'd probably go pile on because you got frenzy, and then tackle, and then obviously guard again because you need guard. We know so you got to get that guard in there, because obviously guard. The thing is as well, it's not only getting you 2 dice, it's making sure your opponent doesn't get 2 dice. So maybe they're only throwing a 1 die block, or if you're really lucky, a red die block. So if they're only throwing 1 die blocks, then there's more chance of not hitting your guy, meaning that not as many armor breaks, meaning that you'll have more people left surviving after each game. Because you've got to remember, most of your team's only armor 7, so it's not great. But this guy definitely is there to build to just build to kill. Because at the end of the day, you're going to, no matter how good you are, unless you get really lucky, you're going to lose players. So to keep up with, being competitive, you've got to take players off the pitch as well. A lot of the times you'll be going against Armour 8, Armour 9. So, it's really important you've got these guys, these enforcers, to help in the attrition war against whoever you're going against. Triporus, who's obviously a veteran PS4 coach, he extremely plays Norse very, very well. And again, in the Cyanide Cup last season, he was unlucky because basically Griff did what Griff did and carried the Bretonians to victory, but he caused carnage with his team. Even in the league, he was causing carnage. He was basically beating the living daylights of anything, and his team was pretty healthy. So you can build them to be really nasty and aggressive, but obviously guard is definitely, you've got to get it in there. You've got to get it in there. I know some people say, well, it's not a sexy choice, but you're always glad when you've got it. And just think of it as, well, you know what, usually I take block fair skill, but guess what? I've already got it, so, we'll get guard. But like I say, if you can get strength, that's just fantastic. Agility's not bad either. Now then, the Yeti. Now, this guy's, in my opinion, I'm not a big fan of loners, especially the big guys, but I think for Norse, this guy is a must for various reasons. He gets Mighty Blow, is his fair skill unless he rolls a double, obviously then he gets block. So Mighty Blow, Claw, Strength 5 with Frenzy. He's gonna take a lot of attention from the rest of your team, what's a pretty good thing. So your nice berserkers and your runners will be less likely to get beat up, because I don't know about you, but especially if I'm high armored, I suppose if I'm wood elves or something like that, I ain't really bothered, or Skaven. But if I'm like dwarfs or chaos or Nurgle, one of these high armor teams, this guy's got to go first because he's got claw and mighty blow, and that is a nasty combination. So obviously, if you're all normal, in my opinion, you only got two choices. You either go Mighty Blow or you go Guard. Whichever one you don't pick first, get second. Anytime you roll a double, in my opinion, block is the way to go. No brainer. Also, look at multiple block, because if you've got guards, assists in there from your other guys, like your berserkers or whatever, then multiple block means if there's two guys next to him, obviously they get +2 strength, so obviously strength 3 will come strength 5 against him, what usually be 1 dice, but the thing is, if you've got an assist, you get the 2 dice. And if you can hit 2 guys a turn with claw, mighty blow, that's a lot better than obviously hitting 1. So multiple block would be something else I'd be looking at. If I rolled another double and I had block, well, you can either go dodge for protection to give him blodge. You can go pro, what's always useful against wild animal, to make it a lot easier for him to move, because obviously on a 4+ you'll get a free reroll. I always think pro is quite handy. So there'd be 2 things I definitely would look at. Diving tackle's a bit funky. That's another thing you could really look for if you want to go outside the box, because obviously a lot of people aren't going to be able to push this guy away. So we'll have to obviously dodge away from him. Like I said, another skill of what you could take is stand firm, obviously, as well at a later stage. Strength, I wouldn't take strength if I didn't have block. If I had block, then maybe I'd take strength. Agility, don't even waste it. Armor's always tempting because he's a big guy and he's a nasty guy. And if you've got some good skills already, then I would be tempted to take the armor, just because people are going to go after him. But usually, dare I say, the ones you're most scared about probably got claw, so just remember that. Movement, it's a funny one, because obviously the more this guy can move with friends and everything, the better it is. So again, I look at movement, but again, I wouldn't take it early on. Movement and armor would be things I'd be looking at late on in development. Strength would be the only one I'd take, but only if I didn't have blocks. I think block's more important. Strength 5 is still already really strong already, and if they've got block, it's going to protect them in the long run. Because obviously, if you haven't got block, people, especially coaches, veteran coaches, have not got no problem doing a red dial block against this guy if you haven't got block. And a lot of the times, your guy will go down. So I think block is really important. But you've got to get this guy up and running, built, because this guy to me is a really important piece in your arsenal. And, sooner he's got mighty blow, if he can get block as well, oh, it's fantastic. And he will strike fear into the opposition. Especially high armoured ones. So get him up as soon as you can. Now we come to the linemen. These are these are guys where I just want a bit extra. Like give me that strength access. I can understand why you're not giving me agility, but give me that strength access. It'd be so cool. But then some people want to say, well, it's totally overpowering, Bernie. Now this one, yes, you are looking at it right. They only start with block. Now the reason I give them wrestle is basically because obviously they go on the line of scrimmage and you've got the option of either obviously staying up or dragging them down. And if you're dragging them down, that basically opens up lanes for your rest of your team. The reason I've gone for wrestler as well is because if you can funnel them down the side or on a flank, and you've got these guys up front, and then you've got obviously your frenzy guys just behind them, and these guys are blitzed or hit, and they roll a wrestle, and you can drag their opponents down, it's going to leave gaps where you could actually use your advantage to be able to get through and save one of their players. It's because that to me, with Norse, is you're trying to get players off the pitch, and if you can get a few of these opponents down and it's all congested in there, you'll usually find out people can't resist throwing blocks, and if that one block causes them to have their play down prone and it leaves one of his guys open to a save from yourselves, it'd be very much worth it. Obviously, as well, the thing with wrestlers is if you're both on the floor, you can disengage most times than not and be able to move to wherever you want without obviously getting up and getting hit again. Fend is the other option I'd take. Like I said, you can go block and fend. That is fine as well. You don't have to go wrestle if you don't want to. I just think fend's really, really important. Really important skill for Norse, because you do not want to get up and get hit over and over again. You don't want to be dodging away trying to make sure you don't get hit, because even though it's a 3+, how many times do we fail them, and how many times do we burn rerolls? You want your guys, after getting hit, if by some miracle they're still alive, is to get up and then move where you want them, not have to worry about getting up and getting hit again, or getting stamped on, or trying to dodge away. Fend is a really good skill. If you sort of like, well, I don't know, Benny, just think back to how many times you played against peasants, how annoying they are. And also, anyone with these killers, as you'll find out, especially in the Cyanide Cup later on, when you see all these, piling on pieces, and you see a lot of them now, even whites, they're built that way, aren't they, from the Necro and Undead teams. They ain't going to be able to pile on these guys, because you got Fend. Very few killers take Juggernaut these days. So, that's another reason. Anything to protect these guards, you should take. Now then, if you roll a double, to me, there's two options. The first option is guard. Because like I said, the more guard you've got, it's going to help you bashing, and more importantly, it's going to help protect your team. So guard is so important. If you can get a few linemen with guard, it's a godsend. Then I'd follow up with fend. Because like I say, as I've explained, especially with the guard piece as well, because that means you can get up and you can move him to where the guard is needed. So fend is such an important skill. So if you roll double, get guard, then get fend. If you don't want to go guard, or you've got plenty of guard, the only other option to me would be dodge. So then he becomes blodge. So basically it protects him a lot better. Again, I'd be looking maybe at fend, but also tackle as well is another useful skill. So with him having dodge, you could be round the back, dodging away, trying to take out any catchers who get through. So that's why I take tackle. And again, fend is always good. Always good with linemen, in my opinion. You get about 5 or 6 of these bad boys with fend. It's going to annoy your opponent. There's not really many great skills for Norse unless they roll a double. That's just the way it is, in my opinion. This guy is basically a guy who's going to get rid of the ball. So strip ball, tackle, then maybe go wrestle. So basically you're just trying to get the ball loose. Dauntless, just in case they've got big guys like a vampire what needs taken out. And I'd still look for fend later on as well. So then basically if someone tries to take you down and fail, or do knock you down and they can't follow up, then you can get back up and still have an opportunity to try and get to the ball carrier. So, that basically... it doesn't hurt having a guy like this. The problem with linemen is they do skill up so slow. So, you could be waiting time to get one of these guys. And when they've been on the Iron 7, there's a good chance to get spotted before they get there. But it's a nice build. It's something nice and different. And they can be useful. Obviously, kick is always a useful skill. Yes, you're not the fastest. But like I've said before, with a lot of these teams, the short kick is always useful. You could stack you could stack it to one side and then kick it short, and then obviously there's a good chance that obviously if they don't pick the ball up, you're on him like a rash. And two, most ball carriers are right at the back anyway, so if you get a good kick and it's quite close to the halfway line, then you're going to be able to put pressure on straight away. You're not very fast, so kicking it deep isn't always the greatest thing to do, unless obviously it's like 10-7 or it's 10-15 and you're just trying to buy time. It's a really good thing to get aggressive, get your big guys in there, get your Wolf Awareness in there, get your Yeti in there, trying to put in the cage a couple of squares away from you can crash it and just put pressure on. So kick can be very, very useful. Again, after kick, I'd go with fend. Now, Norse need to remove any way possible, and because they're quite cheap, 50k, get a data player. I'd have at least one of these guys in there, get the guys down, stamp all of them, try and get the numbers down, and this is a great way of doing it. I'd have at least one data player. Hopefully he won't level up after this. If he did level up after this, I'd either sack him, if I'm being honest, or I'd go fend. If I rolled a double, I'd cry. But if I had to take the double, I'd go with I wouldn't go with sneaky get. I think I'd go with guard, and then say, you know what, if your first roll is to assist and guard, but you know what, if there's a really nice piece on the floor, what needs stamping on, you can still do that for me. And that's it. That's basically the way I look at it. For linemen, movement I probably wouldn't take. Armour, if they're on line of scrimmage, I'd be tempted to take it, as long as we've got the skills first, definitely. Strength, take it every day of the week, and I'd take agility every day of the week as well, because it just gives you another viable option. Guard is the thing for them. The thing I don't like about Norse is, like I've said, if the lineman had strength access, I would love Norse. I really would. But they don't. And it's hard to get the mighty blow on this team. So obviously, your Wolf Awareness will probably have to get it, your Berserkers will. So, and then obviously your Yeti. So you're probably going to have maybe up to 5 if you're lucky, mighty blow. Because the thing is, if you roll a double on your lineman, you don't really want to be taking mighty blow. Well, you would like mighty blow, but you've got to take guard. If anything I can stress in this video, 2 things: fend, guard. Get fend on all your linemen. It'll make them live longer. Trust me, it will. And guard helps hit, and more importantly, helps protect. If you can turn them 2 die blocks against you into a 1 die block, 1, it's going to get you more turnovers. 2, your men are going to live longer. So it's a win-win situation. So don't go down the route with your lineman and go, oh yeah, I'm going to get mighty blow, because yeah, it is great, but leave that to the professionals, as I'd say. You've got your Wolf Awareness, you've got your Berserkers, you've got your Yeti. Them 5, they're the guys who are going to have to get that. The other guys, your linemen, need to get guard. The more guard you get in your team, the more effective this team will be. Oh, it'd be amazing, because you've got some strength there with your Yeti. You've got your strength with your Wolf Awareness. You've got the positional with your Frenzy, and you can get your Juggernauts. You can try and... The way I look at it is, if I'm Norse, I'm trying to get them down the flank. Because if I can get my opponent down the flank, that means my Frenzy is going to be so much more dangerous. I can start, frenzying people off the pitch. And if I've got Stand Firm, then I ain't going off the pitch unless they've got Juggernaut. And you very rarely see much Juggernaut, in the league. So, get them down that flank. And then things like wrestle, that means they'll be dragging them down, making more gaps for your guys to obviously manipulate into your favour. Fend means, they can't base your guys up. So, and then you can move them to where you want them. So, fend, guard, honestly, and get them down the flank. Don't fight them down the middle. Try and make them go down the flank. Because if you can get them down the flank, and to be honest, a lot of coaches just love going down one flank or the other. And if they're not very experienced or they're not very savvy and they go down the flank thinking, it's only Norse, doesn't matter. Well, it will, because you've got tons of Frenzy. And when that Strength 5 Yeti goes gate crashing in there, back to back 2 Stand Firm Wolf Awareness, and then your Berserkers and everything else, they ain't gonna last long. So, Norse, like I say, it's a team I don't really play it, but it has got potential. And if I was going to play it in the Cyanide Cup, this is how I'd do it. V-Power V is another guy who plays Norse really, really well. He's got quite far. I think he got to the semi-finals with Norse. So they are very competitive. Like I said, Tripper I thought would have gone far last season, but unfortunately, Griff does what Griff does and basically carried the Bretonians to a victory. If they didn't have Griff, I'm almost certain Tripp's team would have gone far. So, like I said, Norse are good. You've just got to build them right. And like I say, if you can get that guard on them linemen, it makes a massive difference, honestly. And you get a few stats as well, as always with any team. That's fantastic. So, we're done. I'm afraid that's all 24 teams done. They're all done now. It's sad to say this is the last roster for now. Unless they come out with another patch sometime and they bring out Case Pact and the rest of them, would be fantastic. There is obviously rumours that maybe even Korn may be coming back. Good old Korn with all that frenzy. Fantastic. More races are better in my opinion. So there we go. If you're saying, well, Benny, have you done Underworld or have you done whatever the race you want? The answer is yes. I've done all the 24 races what are available on the PS4, the Xbox One, and the PC. Like I say to everybody else, subscribe to my channel. It costs you nothing, and it tells you when I bring more content onto my channel. Because we've got the Blood on the Box, what is an Xbox show. We've got the Knuffle Shuffle, what's the PS4 show, talk show as well. You know, we'll be having playoff games because it's almost that time. I would think within the next 2 weeks we are going to be having our first playoffs of the 32 team format. What's going to be fantastic. We'll have the live draw as well on the PS4, and potentially I'll be trying to help the Xbox crew on that as well if they want me. So we're going to get a lot of content on the channel. So best to do is subscribe, and also we'll have the final as well, the good old PS4 final. Last year's was amazing between Gimlick and our media, and I'm sure it'll be just as good this time around. So like I said, subscribe. Any questions, leave in the comment section and I'll get back and answer them as soon as I can. This has been me, Benny Buffon. Thanks again for watching the rosters, and for the guys out there who've seen every single roster, you're the real MVP. Take care, guys. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. Take me right back to